throwing a curveball into the mix, opting to go for red side while they had blue side the first two games. Suning changing up their ban slightly by banning Aphelios as opposed to Jace, while RNG, the bans maintain mostly the same thing except now banning out the Kaisa, as well as Bin locks in Samira for the side of Suning Gaming, while RNG locking in the Alistar as well as hovering the Pantheon. So I don't really like that. Personally, not a big fan of Samira because I feel that Samira, in pro play at least, it makes your team very easy to predict. Suning is going to draft a dive comp here. I can kind of tell already. Oh, that's my prediction at least, because Samira, really, she doesn't do much damage with her ultimate. She's low range. She has to jump in and use her ultimate to... She doesn't really do much damage with her auto attack, sorry. And she's low range. She has to jump in and shoot everything up. She has to be in the middle of a team fight. So already, RNG with the Alistar pick, it's a great pick against Samira, because Samira jumps in. What can you do? If your team isn't in a good position, you knock her back. She has to start stacking her ultimate yet again in the middle of a team fight. They don't really last that long. Or if she is in the middle of your team and your team is ready to explode her, you just WQ. You just headbutt pulverize, boom. If she's up in the air, you explode her before her feet touch the ground. Xayah, lots of safety as well, allowing Alistar to run about and cause a ruckus in the rest of the map. Aatrox and Nidalee pick here by the side of Suning. Kind of impressed. I'm kind of interested. It's kind of interesting that they agreed to do this because Orianna is still on the board, for now at least, and RNG have shown that they will put Xiaohu up there in the top lane. Orianna is pretty good into a kite back team, which is what I assume RNG is going to be playing here because you can't really run forward with the Xayah. As Lilia comes in, looks like RNG is looking to play towards a bit more of the later game, not so much early aggression, with the very, very scaling Xayah pick and the kind of mid-game-ish Lilia pick. Wants to farm initially, doesn't really have much ganking tools, as the solo laners are all that's left for RNG to pick. Again, I wouldn't be surprised seeing Orianna here, as Lucian is banned out by the side of Suning, and Leona is banned out by the side of RNG. RNG now looking for another ban, probably look for the... Who else is a very strong engage support? I don't imagine they'll ban out the Pantheon here, as the jungle already has been chosen. Honestly, a Victor ban coming out by the side of RNG. That's kind of interesting. Supposing maybe they don't want... Maybe it's because RNG want to hover the Orianna fourth pick flex that he can go between both their top and mid lanes. And Victor does pretty well against both those champions. Suning now banning out the Jace that they banned out in round 1, in the first round of bans in the first two games. And as we predicted, there is the Orianna pick. Angel, of course, also basically spamming Victor throughout this entire season so far. Throughout this entire season so far. Suning now, not sure whether that's a mid lane Orianna or that is a top lane Orianna, because again, reverting back to game 1, they actually set Orianna top in the hands of Xiaohu. Fairly capable he was. He managed to get like 30-40 CS lead over Bin on this Aatrox pick. However, that being said, in the first game, RNG did have a Pantheon jungle and did have a lot of kill pressure. In this game, Lilia, they have a jungle who's AP and at least one solo laner who's AP. Already there's a lot of clashing of the damage types over there. Oh, there's another great engage support in the form of the Thresh, of course in the form of the Not kind of fallen off in popularity. Leona tends to be the more favorite of the two picks. Ashe hovered there just for funsies, and a Maokai pick. Maokai is used nowadays as a slight bit of a counter towards the cow, to say, because you can twisting advance towards the enemy carry. You can keep him away from the bushes so you can't hex flash out with the saplings, because the saplings do tons of damage, of course. I tried this in solo queue the other day. Insane damage, actually. I barely hit any saplings. The enemy stayed far away from the bushes, and yet still second highest damage in the game. Higher than any member of the enemy team. It is truly insane, as RNG there locking in actual top laner this time for the side of Xiaohu, going in with that Gnar pick into the Aatrox. I think a fairly even lane for both players, honestly. Aatrox, with his mobility of his E and the range he has from his Infernal Chains, as well as his Q, 3 knockups in a row, is quite deadly for Gnar, who is very squishy in his range form. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of the team, I think I'm biased. I like RNG's draft more because I don't like Samira as a champion. I don't like Samira in pro play because I feel like she's really, really, really telegraphed. When you see Samira, you know the enemy team is gonna go in. She has to go in. She doesn't fit any other composition. She doesn't fit any composition that's not a dive composition. She cannot poke. She doesn't have the range for that. She can't really sustain damage because, again, her auto attacks don't do as much damage. She's got no attack speed modifiers. The only auto attack quote unquote modifier she has is that she can Q every 2 seconds. But an AD carry can, with the attack speed buff, can auto attack so much faster. So yeah, I mean, this looks like it could be a poke composition-ish from Angel's Azir and the Nidalee with the Qs and maybe even the Maokai Es. But in reality, if they want this not to be a 4v5 constantly, they have to go in. They have to let Huanfeng channel his ultimate. And how is he's going to channel his ultimate in the midst of an Alistar with an Orianna ulti there, as well as with a sleep, though they can block the sleep, and a Ngar ultimate as well. There's a lot of things to consider here. And if she jumps in, Ngar can jump into her team, knock them back, so they can 4v1 her, and at that point it's just over. No one's gonna go in there and be able to save Huanfeng. Huanfeng basically has an in, and the only out is a straight TP gray screen TP, as both the top laners of RNG and Swinning Gaming just having a little casual dance off, letting each other know, yes, I see you, don't try any deep wards or pesky invades. And Xiaohu, feeling a bit more confident now, not liking what Aatrox said just now, walks up, throws a boomerang into the bush, saying, get out of my turf. Bin now opting to go into a more defensive position. Ooh, as a beautiful spear coming out from SOFM, a minute and 15 seconds in. Nags crying in the back, crying, not wanting to lose any advantages, and with the sustain of his corrupting potions is likely to continue going on to lane, as Bin leveling up W first, landing it. However, Xiaohu's just gonna kite away from this with his fleet footwork, both of them walking hand in hand almost back to lane. Xiaohu walking back, just looking to sustain with his fleet footwork, of course, as Wei starts out Raptors while SOFM starting out Blue. Both junglers not getting a leash, so no information going there on the side of either team, as Wei skips through the red buff towards the Krug camp. SOFM just doing his full clear. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, lots of pings going down, as potential for damage. Potential all-ins, I would say, are unlikely considering the fact that both have scaling AD carries. I would say On is also just looking to harass the enemies with his saplings, with his just being Maokai. Honestly, this is just basically a sapling bot with an insane engage ultimate. 80-second cooldown, can you believe that? Maokai ultimate is quite crazy. Maokai as a champion is pretty crazy, honestly. Actually, in the preseason, I'm surprised that he didn't get more attention in solo queue, considering he is also such a big tank. As Wei finishing up the top side, just as SOFM is finishing up his top side jungle, bottom lane being pushed up by RNG, assuring Wei of a relatively safe early clear. Not that SOFM is looking to do anything cheeky here, as Angel and Crying just trading some damage back and forth, both laners starting out. Oh, actually no, Crying starting out with his corrupting pots and biscuits, lots of sustain there. Meanwhile, Angel starting out with his Comet, just provide an additional little bit of poke while he manages to clear out these waves. Meanwhile, in the top side, as expected, Xiaohu is pushing in Bin. Ranged into melee matchups tend to give your laner lots of priority. Bin there, just soaking up whatever experience he can, not really falling behind at all in terms of CS, as SOFM starts up the Scuttle Crab 5 camps in, while Wei popping the Scryer's Bloom 6 camps in, looking for that Scuttle Crab, as both junglers see each other, nod at each other, and walk back into their respective jungles. At least SOFM, I expect him to do that. On walking forward to defend his jungler with some saplings into the bush. And SOFM cutting through mid lane, just looking to get all the scuttles that he can. Angel pushing it up now, pushing up to get priority. SOFM going for the Raptors instead, but with teleport coming in here from Crying, he is in a little bit of danger, as Angel has no mana. Slight bit of miscommunication there by both teams, as Crying flashes forward, uses the movement speed buff, forcing SOFM to flash, but Wei keeping pace, flashing in as well. Angel teleporting in, SOFM ever so low, red buff ticking, and Wei eventually gets the kill. Extreme overextension there by SOFM, seeing the teleport coming in from Crying, who got his reset off first. Angel without any mana, forced to teleport to get items, to get mana, to not risk his life also going down, as Ming going in with his WQ combo, channeling his E, managing to stun on but taking tons of damage, forced to flash out as Gala is jumped on by Huanfeng. Huanfeng getting rooted out by the collar, gets auto attacked to death in the bush and on in a terrible position as well. Gala autoing him to death, but Ming, never mind, coming in with the KS, saying, I worked hard for that kill, I used everything, give me at least one. Can't be too mad there if you're on the side of Gala, of course, because he did pretty much gift you a kill and nearly gifted you a free assist as well. As in the first 4 minutes of the game, just before Dragon spawns, 3 kills going over to the side of Suning Gaming. Not a great beginning, but again, Suning, no strangers to starting out slightly behind, no strangers to a strong mid game and team fighting that brings them back into the game. As are now walking through the middle lane, looking to get some vision, also looking to drop some cheeky little saplings in order to possibly harass Wei in his path towards Dragon, as a WQ going in here from Ming, taking a lot of initial damage, getting his stun off, however, having to flash out. Huanfeng jumping into Gala here, but a beautiful E into a flash there from Gala, causing Huanfeng to get rooted and take tons of damage. Ming now going from the lowest person in amongst the 4 people to the highest HP person amongst the 4 people, returning back to lane there. The cow with no summoner spells, bottom lane is completely open to either side ganking. However, with the wave being so strong in favor of Suning, it doesn't look to be anyone's it doesn't look that anyone is going to gank lane as well. I also say that SOFM is open to ganking, to doing Dragon, but SOFM just running through mid, helping Angel get priority, actively looking to harass Wei and counter jungle his Raptors. Raptors, perhaps one of the most contested camps actually, I think it is straight up the most contested camp in the game. No one steals Krugs or... Ooh, interesting. Surprisingly, I don't know if that was a bug there or something, but Gala's E still managing to root Huanfeng despite the spinny wind wall of death from Samira. As Wei looking for a top side lane gank here, or just ensuring that his laner is safe while waiting for his crab gank to gain. Xiaohu, of course, quite pushed up, unsure where Bin is, no idea where SOFM is simply just trying to crash this wave, probably look to get some harass as well as maybe some playthings. She recently just went back, picked up his ninja tabbies, and therefore feeling quite safe for the damage output, and of course with the sustain feeling great as well, as SN secure this bottom side Scuttle Crab away from the likes of Wei, who unbeknownst to them is actually in the top side, making sure that his laner does not get ganked. SOFM, though, not having any intentions of participating in any of these lane issues, is simply clearing out his jungle and securing the blue buff for his laner as 7 minutes and 30 seconds comes into the game. Second blue buff of the side of Suning going over to Angel, and unfortunately for Crying, due to Wei's jungle pathing in the beginning, he doesn't really get his blue buff until about a minute from now. So, I mean, it's not so bad. More likely than not, he will also be the one to get the blue buff. So no cause for concern for him, as Dragon has been up now for almost 3 minutes, and Rift Herald is coming up as well, meaning that honestly both teams are quite happy with scaling. So it's be very interesting to see who starts what up, as Wei deciding that top lane priority is a good enough reason for him to start up this Rift Herald. Luckily, however, SOFM is in the bottom side farming out his Krugs. Ming here clearing out some vision in the mid lane, as On and Huanfeng are resetting. If they're resetting to move up for this Rift Herald, I hope they realize that it is way too late, as Wei, with his priority in the top lane, is easily securing this. Despite not having priority in the mid lane, Angel is actually doing a fantastic job. About a 20 CS lead now on over Crying. Resets to just get some more items, as Suning is probably going to look to fight for this Dragon since they do have the reset advantage. They are a little bit earlier out into the map. However, RNG not too far behind will definitely be able to defend this Dragon should the need arise. SOFM now with On behind him is positioning. Wow, SOFM seems to know the timing of the blue buff exceptionally well. Perhaps realizing that Crying did not have it, Ming walking in again, who flashes in, uses his W, however, to throw SOFM into safety as Wei is forced to smite in order to preserve the blue buff on the ally team. Crying is probably a little bit teary-eyed right now, considering he is not going to get a blue buff against a blue buffed Azir. However, Wei, it is possible that Wei comes into his lane and tries to transfer the buffs from Angel on towards his own mid laner. However, Wei, being the more objective focused jungler in this game, moving up to secure this dragon unbeknownst to him. However, it is warded, and SN definitely know of this, as on channeling his Hex Flash, jumps forward slightly. Ming caught between a rock and a hard place, I believe, as they think on jumping into Ming, Ming getting knocked up, Ming getting taken out. Huanfeng using Wei as his escape route as SN turned instead onto the dragon. Huanfeng, a beautiful flash there, flashing away from Crying's ultimate as dragon resets. SOFM trying desperately to take it, 70 health, and the dragon goes down towards SOFM for the price of On's life. Meanwhile, up on the top side, Bin is not having a particularly good time as Ngar coming in, stunning him with his ultimate, using his auto attacks. Bin forced to use his ultimate. Xiaohu using his flash, seeing that Bin is not playing around, is looking to fully all in him at this current moment in time. Bin using the rest of his ultimate to regain some HP and using his spells to clear out the waves as quickly as he can, looking for a reset. Now, all things considered, Bin is in exact same CS total as Xiaohu. Bin now sliding over the wall, looking to secure Scuttle Crab, not looking to back at all. SOFM in the top side, there to actually take the Scuttle Crab from Bin, as Bin now resetting. Wei in the top side, basically just free farming everything that is on the map to farm, and then in between, in his downtime, just taking objectives. As Ming walking towards the mid lane now with Hex Flash, channeling Hex Flash onto Angel. Angel in a terrible position, a beautiful flash there, avoiding the headbutt pulverized combo, which would have surely led to his death. Because actually Crying doesn't have his ultimate, however Crying does have the damage necessary, I think, to take out the Azir. Azir, quite a squishy member of the team. As in the first 11 minutes of the game, RNG in a very, very, very nice lead, about 2k, 1.6k gold ahead. Most of that gold, of course, on the Lilia as well as the Xayah, both doing a fantastic job in terms of CS and in terms of kill, as Wei, unknown to him, again walking on a wall. SOFM this time is down here. It is a possible 3v3, but SOFM is spotted by Squire's Bloom, popped by Crying in the middle lane. SOFM knowing fully well that Wei is here, and the rest of RNG also knowing fully well that SOFM is in attendance in this bot lane fiesta to be on, jumping forward, looking to grab some saplings, looking to harass the enemy where possible. Gala stopping in front of a sapling, not wanting this to start. Wei being jumped on by On, being caught out of position, I dare say, as ultimate coming in from On actually roots Ming away from fight before he can come and peel for his own jungler. Ming being chunked out, however, with his ultimate is a fairly tanky moo, and he waltzes out of the fight. On's ultimate, they're actually denying Ming the opportunity to save his jungler. Wei stepping out way too far, and Suning realizing that with the positioning of Ming and Gala in that last scuffle there, that they were not in the position to help out their own jungler, should he still be in that bush. Take full advantage of him, as unfortunately, Rift Herald is spawned in the base. That is quite a tragedy. Chances are that it will not get its charge off unless RNG opt to send many laners down to that side, as Gala tanking a spear, chunked to half HP. SOFM waltzing, prowling forward actually, looking perhaps to get some damage down onto Gala. SOFM down here, of course, in order to ensure that this Rift Herald doesn't make it past the mid-river mark. But with Wei and Ming coming in, as well as the damage coming in from Gala, all the feathers are in place for a play to be made. Sadly, Rift Herald does not make it through to the mid lane, as expected, as Ming face checking a present there from On, getting chunked to about 2/3 health points on throwing in another sapling, looking to be as annoying as human tree I have no idea. As vegetationally possible, Xiaohu just ensuring that his jungler's camps are as efficient as possible, being reset whenever possible, clearing out the Krug camp of his jungler, at least partially at least, and then walking back to lane, trying his best to get as much of a CS lead over Bin as possible. Bin, despite everything, only 10 CS down, probably from the Krug probably basically from the Krug camp, has finished his God Drinker, while on the other side, Xiaohu, due to him rushing his tier 2 boots first, is only at his Iron Spike Whip, with Dragon spawning in 50 seconds and Rift Herald looking to spawn at roughly the same time as well. Angel has yet to finish his first item. Same can be said for the side of SOFM, as Huanfeng only recently, literally just finishing his mythics. Gala backing now, looking to finish his mythics as well, as all the mythics in the game are looking to be completed right around this time. We can expect both teams. Okay, so I would say that RNG have a stronger mid-game spike in their mid lane. I would also say that RNG have a weaker mid lane spike in their top lane, and that RNG have a stronger late game spike in their bottom lane, meaning that I don't think that they are going to look to contest, honestly, against this. Suning is the mid game is Suning's territory, and I'm pretty sure that these teams, being the professionals that they are, know this. Therefore, RNG opting to go for Dragon and giving up Rift Herald to the side of Suning Gaming. Suning, of course, knowing this with their ward in the Dragon Pit. However, with their jungle preoccupied with seafood rather than dragon food, the Dragon goes very, very easily over to the side of RNG, just as Rift Herald goes over to the side of Suning Gaming. Let's see if Suning Gaming will be able to make better use of this Rift Herald than RNG did. A slight misplay there, but nothing too bad considering. Oh, actually, Suning has done a fantastic job. Despite being 3 kills down, there are only 600 gold difference between the two teams. A fantastic job there by Suning. However, RNG's bottom lane is moving up, looking to either group mid lane to push down a tower, or looking to get a pick here on SOFM, who is hit by the swirl seed, is being put to sleep on just arriving here with his twisting advance. SOFM using Zhonya's trying to stay alive as Angel jumping for a flash there on side. SOFM jumping and healing, throwing his spear to give himself an escape. Ming flashing out of the fight, been teleported in. So is Xiaohu with his Mega Nga, nearly up. Oh, unfortunately, Wei, the person who started the catch, is the person being caught right now as he walks into the tower looking to execute. However, Angel manages to get the kill on him with it. Did he auto attack him? I didn't even see that. That auto attack range looked a little bit far, if I'm going to be honest with you. But a good attempt here by RNG, moving up their bot lane to try and make a pick there on to SOFM. Unfortunately, SOFM's team with On leading the charge was there in position, very, very ready to punish. Bin channeling his teleport first. Xiaohu waiting a few moments to stack up his passive, I believe, arrived in the perfect Ngar state, near bordering on transformation. Unfortunately, when he arrived, the fight was already over and Wei was too separated from his team. Gets chased down and sacrificed to the Emperor Azir. As both teams are resetting now. And I always thought that this was a very interesting time in the game to watch. The moments between objectives when teams can either look to kind of default and farm up, or they can look to make plays. Thing is though, how do you make plays? Objectives force teams to step out into positions they wouldn't otherwise step out into, right? So if there are no objectives to draw the enemy, then how do you proactively try and make a play on the enemies when they would ideally be under their tower farming creeps? And the jungler could literally be anywhere. So, I mean, that was an attempt there by RNG. A really good try, I think. And suddenly the gold lead is still at about 700 gold towards the side of RNG, but that's soon to probably change a little bit as Rift Herald jumps into the mid lane tower, chunking it out, allowing Suning an easier time to siege it down in future plays. Of course, mid lane tower, quite a key objective here, as it really opens up the map, gives you avenues into the jungle, into the making flanks, into pushing the wave further into mid lane so that you can position for objectives. As Xiaohu getting chunked out there by Bin. Good trade damage back there by Xiaohu. Xiaohu also finishing his God Drinker, wanting to be the bruiser for his team, wanting to jump in to team fights with his ultimate and disrupt everything. Of course, God Drinker, an incredibly strong mythic, definitely by far and beyond one of the stronger mythics in the game right now, with the ability haste it provides, as well as the huge lifesteal amount that it can give you if you are amongst the enemy team. SOFM just clearing out some wards, preparing for a Scuttle Crab in the top side. I think SOFM has a fantastic job securing Scuttle Crabs, and all things considered, Wei is doing a fantastic job keeping up only one level down, as Angel, Crying, Xiaohu, and SOFM are here to contest this dragon. So we'll see coming out, Angel nabbed by it, however, tagged by it, however. Wei, more interest in his raptors than in a bird emperor, is just walking up and clearing his camps. Basically, his whole jungle is respawning now on the side of Wei RNG, moving up with their bottom lane as the casual trading back and forth here. It's like a waltz. It's like a push and a pull motion. Like it's like a wave. Top lane itself is like a wave. Well, of course they're manipulating waves and that kind of thing. It's just like a wave. Anyways, Dragon is spawning in 40 seconds with Baron spawning in 20 seconds as well. RNG here with the superior range advantage of the Xayah is getting bot lane prio constantly. Crying now with his blue buff will be able to maintain a neutral wave state with Angel. And in the top side, Xiaohu still with the range advantage, still pushing in Bin. Bin now though actually has quite a bit of kill pressure on Xiaohu. Xiaohu will have to save his jump in order to jump out. As we see there, Gala easily and handily clearing out the waves as On moving through the jungle, securing vision, trying to make sure that the dragon is kept safe, throwing his saplings. The distance of sapling toss is actually absurd on that champion. As SOFM hovering, shadowing through the middle lane, however, Crying, sensing that he is not particularly safe in this position, knowing that On is somewhere in the area and SOFM could as well, throws his ball out to secure some vision, spotting SOFM out. Ming walking through the river now as Wei is there as well. Xiaohu actually rotating faster than Bin, already at mid lane. Bin still in the base as Dragon is started out there by the side of RNG. Very decisive play, pulled out of the pit towards SOFM. SOFM, not knowing that Bush is warded, is looking to just poke out members of RNG as much as possible. RNG in a superior position will most definitely secure this dragon before SOFM has the chance to jump in. Easy smite there by Wei, and SOFM assists with his spear. Bin popping his ultimate, forcing Ming's flash, jumping over the wall, is Bin into 4 people. A fight I think he does not really want to take as he waits for his cooldown of his E very calmly and slides back over the wall. Been there pushing forward very, very aggressively. However, playing with a lot of confidence, not flashing despite having it, simply waiting for his team, knowing his team is behind him, just waiting to be able to slide out the way he came. As third dragon of the game goes over to his RNG. Not a huge loss there by Suning because this is only the second dragon of RNG. It's not like they're on soul point or anything. As pings are going down there towards the Baron side, RNG is in position to take it with their 5 members all hovering around the mid lane, with Huanfeng in the bottom side now only channeling his recall. RNG can perhaps threaten to do this, however, not wanting to do it as Bin is securing top lane priority for the side of Suning Gaming. However, Huanfeng is now back running towards the top side, mirroring Gala and Ming and Wei, who are also at the top side, wanting to shift the bottom lanes towards the next side of the closer towards the side of the map where the objective is up, sending their top laners with their teleports off to the bottom lane in order to just collect waves and develop side wave pressure. Xiaohu, with the constant counter jungling of his own jungler, is of course pulling ahead in CS. Bin seemingly not wanting to offend the great jungler of his great jungler and companion SOFM, has yet to do the same as well. It's quite hard to take Grump when you are on blue side top lane because Grump is quite a ways out of the way and takes quite a bit to kill. SOFM also have been doing a great job being very efficient with his farming. Bin prancing around in the bush looking to make a trade onto Xiaohu. Xiaohu knowing fully well that he's there, not knowing however that SOFM is in the area as well. Xiaohu quite close to Mega Ngaring. Will he jump forward and use in order to use his ultimate SOFM? Counting on it, however, Xiaohu more interested in the wave than the idea of chunking out Bin, who has actually managed to lifesteal a lot of his health back. Xiaohu now just looking to reset as the members of Suning Gaming are the ones who are clearing out the Baron Pit of Vision, looking to lay down some of their own. As I thought it was a moment ago that Gala finished his Gale Force, however now he does have his second item, as does Huanfeng and Angel also with their second item. As the items continue to ramp up, I must say that Suning is in a very comfortable position. They do have, in my opinion, some of the better scaling, at least in the middle lane. However, actually no, they only have better scaling in the middle lane. as I think that in terms of AD carries, Xiaohu's in terms of AD carries, I'm pretty sure that Gala scales exceptionally well with the Xayah pick. That point at which Xayah is not a strong champion is long past with his items. As you see, a beautiful route there on the side of Gala, Gale forcing in aggressively, nearly one-shotting Angel pretty much. And like I said, Gala is not at the stage where he can't be considered a threat anymore. Xiaohu, a constant menace in lane, is now also a teamfight threat with his ultimate. Also with the items he has chosen to go, he is fairly tanky when he is in that Mega Ngar form. Angel very low, getting hit by that swirl seed by Wei, who throws another towards Huanfeng, who dodges it easily. Pings coming out towards the Dragon Pit. However, Dragon will not be up in a minute and 30 seconds longer, as Crying's pushing in and crashing the top wave into the base, as Angel teleporting in front of the Baron Pit, and Suning looking to secure him a blue buff, not really looking to do Dragon, I suppose. That not looking to force Baron, I suppose, but a bunch of pings coming out there by the side of RNG, who are moving Ming up to check it, realizing that Angel, upon spotting Angel in top side, realizing he only teleported for the blue buff in order to be on the map earlier, looking to make some picks or some plays. Now that Dragon is spawning in under a minute, Bin doing what Xiaohu is doing. It's his turn now, clearing out the Krug camp, evening out his CS. However, Xiaohu still with a 30 CS advantage at least after this wave, is in a pretty comfortable position. Xiaohu again with the earlier back is able to join up with his team earlier as well. Gala getting poked out slightly, but the shields coming in from Crying, keeping him at a high health total, as now both teams finally are in position to contest this dragon. This will no longer be a free dragon over to the side of RNG. Suning Gaming is very much in position, and the saplings, this is where they really start to have effect. The saplings, it's impossible to clear them without the damage, but the shields coming in from the Orianna actually assisting in tanking the saplings. On there with a level 4 sapling toss is just going to be continuously harassing the members of RNG with his saplings, just throwing them into that pixel bush there in the river non-stop like a little grenadier from over the wall. Completely safe there. As Xiaohu popping into his ultimate form, RNG, if they're going to look for a fight, it's going to be before this ultimate runs out. It's already at its halfway bar. Dragon is pulled to the side. RNG wanting to force the... Oh, a beautiful steal there by SOFM. Not even using his smite. Simply sniping it like the Vietnamese sniper he is, as Suning moving into the jungle, looking to get some harass, get some poke on there, on the side of... onto the bottom side of the jungle, of the river. Of the jungle, sorry. My mouth is a bit dry today. All things considered, it has been a pretty calm game, as both teams just looking to scale up. Of course, once things, as in true LPL fashion, once things get explosive, the game is going to blow wide open, and it's going to be constant bloodbaths. But until that moment, ladies and gentlemen, I shall be your companion. I shall keep you entertained, hopefully, until that point in time, as both the AD carries now working towards that third item, most likely to be an IE for both of them. Junglers closing in on their second item for the side of Wei. However, SOFM getting his Zhonya's already, with third items being worked on by both the top laners. Baron is still up and has been very, very healthy for the past 7 minutes. However, that will soon... Again, on the side of... on both sides, there's tons of Baron damage, actually. From the side of Suning, it's coming from Angel, and from the side of RNG, it's coming from both Gala, as well as Crying, as well as Wei. So, in terms of Baron taking potential, I feel that RNG have a much easier time rushing it down, because of they just have so much Baron damage from 3 of their members. On with this Maokai pick has not been incredibly successful, but has been a nuisance. He's been able to collapse with his ultimate, managed to close the distance, managed to root people with his W, managed to zone certain areas of the river with his sapling toss. However, RNG just so good at getting into position before Suning Gaming, so that they are not zoned out completely by the saplings of Suning. As Suning walk up, secure the first tower for their second tower of their side, and opening up the middle of the map at least, as Xiaohu jumping forward aggressively, channeling his Narbar full, his ultimate up, walking forward very menacingly, basically by himself with members of his team in the mid lane, looking to siege down the mid lane tower. Back Xiaohu now with his ultimate running out very, very quickly. Will probably have to wait to charge that up again as the twisting advance, as the ultimate comes in there. Wei taken very low. Xiaohu reverting back to his normal form is chunked out by Bin as the ultimate coming in there from on a nice little bit of engage, saying we're gonna fight you for this tower. We are not going to give it up for free. RNG just resetting and looking to SOFM throwing a spear there, looking to bait RNG into thinking that Suning is actually doing it. However, Suning with mid lane priority see Angel and know that Angel is most of their Baron damage, will not be absent for a Baron take unless they are looking to make a 2-minute Baron take, because they really don't have much damage. Unfortunately, Samira again, auto attacks aren't really her forte. She just wants to use it to stack her ultimate, and you can't really use your ultimate. You can't stack your ultimate at least onto Baron. As Suning begin Baron with two of their carries. However, it is warded and they back off as soon as they see members of RNG returning to their lanes. Actually, they only saw Gala in the mid lane. They didn't know where Ming was. They didn't know where Wei was. They were just coming back from the base, fully reset now, ready to stay onto the map as Ming. This is where, again, On shines. When it comes to these objective, when it comes to these objective positioning fights, there's so many bushes, and now with the dragon being an ocean drake, it actually is Maokai's dream. There's even more bushes about now. You can just throw your saplings everywhere, every which way you want, and if you are in position for the objective first, the next dragon, by the way, coming up in 50 seconds time, if you are in position for dragon first, you have, especially in these choke points, how are you going if RNG enter from Raptor entrance, they have to run through at least one bush. And if you just throw your saplings into Pixel Bush, they will have to run through it. And they'll have to run through it they have to send a lead person first, probably Ming, because the splash damage of the saplings is something to be feared. As another ultimate coming in here by the side of Maokai, looking to chase away RNG. Suning really not looking to give anything up for free, in fact not even for remotely free, as the ultimate comes in, signaling Suning's interest in running at RNG. Of course, with Dragon up in 8 seconds, now is a perfect time to make a pick, so you can't fault them. However, the ultimate is down as Ming running forward with the chem tank gets on is taken out by the members of RNG, being flashed out, being the front line. Ultimate coming in there. Huanfeng tagged by it, forced to jump out with his E, and a 1 kill advantage over to the side of RNG, who start up the dragon. Suning not looking any at all interested at contesting this dragon either. So far, of the 3 dragons that are on the side of RNG, in fact, of the 5 dragons in the game, I must say that RNG had priority. They were in position for 4 of those dragons, one being just a beautiful steal there on the side of SOFM. A slight bit of a misplay there by Wei. SOFM not even having to use his smite. And at this point, I feel like RNG have just straight up outscaled Suning. Suning needs to get a really good team fight, but RNG just have easier team fight picking tools, kind of. And the engage coming in from the side of Suning is quite slow. The Maokai ultimate, as we see, is quite easy to run away from as soon as you spot it. Damage coming in there from SOFM, who gets hit by Baron, was triggered by Wei, as well as the burning damage from Wei. And it's just a little bit of a Baron dance now until we get to the team fights that we have been waiting so patiently for the past 32 minutes for. Both teams just calmly soaking up as much experience as possible as the fight goes down here. SFM getting chunked out by Xia, who jumps in, uses ultimate, only grabs on, who gets jumped on by Ming. Ming flashing out despite having his ultimate not that tanky. Swanford getting tagged here by the Oriana ultimate, Bin running forward, being the tank for his team, knowing SFM is behind him to heal him. That's the standard team fight that they will probably see a lot of front to back there for both sides. But again, RNG's AD carry does not need to jump into that front to back in order to maintain his damage output. And Huanfeng has a lot of pressure for him to get his stacks up early and then to jump through the AD carry into the backline and start letting loose. That being said, there's a lot of things that can stop him from letting loose and a lot of things that can turn and kill him. So I'm liking RNG's chances of teamfights here a lot more. Suning's having a harder time ahead of them. Not impossible, just a harder time ahead, as SOFM positioning very aggressively with his team behind him in order to clear out the wards complete river vision dominance there by the side of Suning. SOFM forced to back now to finish up an item as well as collect some pink wards. Bin in the bottom side answering Xiaohu's side lane pressure, as Huan Feng also getting mid lane for himself. Both AD carries at the same kills, almost at the same CS lead. Angel practically clearing out every pink ward. The Baron Pit is his responsibility, I suppose, as Ming just calmly chilling there, waiting for an opportunity to drop another ward. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have one. And oh, actually, Ming has Shurelias. That was not the chem tank, sorry, in the earlier fight. Both the supports not really having many items in comparison to the rest of their teams, as Gala now 5 items in, actually, with boots being a consideration as well, is well and truly at pretty much spiked beyond any shadow of a doubt. He is fully ready to take fights. Angel, on the other hand, is also just as ready with his death cap nearly completed. Angel has been farming up a Storm, a 54 CS lead there for him. Meanwhile, in the top side, Xiaohu is also collecting quite a nice farm lead, while the top side of RNG's top side with the tower, waves upon waves being crashed upon it, is nearly taken out here. Bin not having the time of his life, level 17 to the level 18 of Xiaohu, but he will soon be there. As a teleport coming in there for Angel, looking to make a fight, looking to make a pick there. Xiaohu none the wiser, not knowing that a Bird Emperor, not looking that the 7th Raptor of the game is coming in. A Shurima shuffle into an ultimate coming in. Xiaohu actually buying a lot of time, Bin not being able to catch up to him to knock him up. Xiaohu with his ultimate, looking at Angel. His ultimate pins Angel into the wall. Angel left there for 7 years. The CC of the Wallop as well as the Orianna ultimate. Xiaohu just baiting out the entire fight beautifully. Actually so tanky. 5 items in, 2 bruiser items and 2 full tank items. Suning is looking to be in a terrible position despite maintaining a relatively good amount of gold, only being about 1 to 2k behind this entire time. As Xiaohu teleporting in now to look to start up the Baron with RNG. Gala again, so much damage coming in from Gala, from Wei, from Crying. Gala chunked out by the spear. Those spears might be the saving grace of Suning. Unfortunately, the next spear lands into Baron, who can definitely tank the damage. Bin jumping forward as Ming is being the front line that he needs to be. SFM jumping in, stealing the Baron. What a beast of a man! As the Ngar coming in with the ultimate, Bin sliding over the wall very casually, and perhaps the only beacon of hope there from the side of Suning Gaming. Unfortunately, do I think this changes anything? No, I do not. This is maybe going to delay the push by another 2 minutes and 30 seconds as Xiaohu jumping forward with impunity, jumping up to the face of Huan Feng. Doesn't matter who is there, just jumping in, damage coming in there from Crying, chunking out Bin to half HP. There's a lot of damage types here for Bin to worry about. Lots of AP coming in from the mid laner as well as the jungler. A lot of AD damage coming in from the AD carry as well as the top laner, as the 6th dragon in the game and the 4th dragon of RNG is taken at the 37-minute mark. Xiaohu jumping in onto Angel, using his movement speed to get into attack range of Angel. Angel forcing to shuffle on out of there. Xiaohu, an actual beast now with with a BF sword, as we see here. Xiaohu getting tossed about, but just being able to maintain a certain amount of speed with this attack, with his W, and then just straight turning on Angel. Then Ngar proccing his Banshees and also somehow still stunning him against the wall, and then a wallop into an Orianna ultimate ends the game. SOFN flashing in, smiting not before his spear can even hit, sacrifices himself for the hope that his team can perhaps pull off a comeback, because they are without a shadow of a doubt behind this game, despite only being behind by actually nothing after that Baron steal. That Baron steal actually brought Suning into literally, they are equal in terms of gold. However, make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, they might be equal in terms of they might be equal in terms of gold, but in this game, the kill score is kind of telling you what is happening, as well as the tower score. RNG is ahead in both scores, and RNG is without a doubt fully in control of this game. The tempo is very much in their favor. They have a big beefy Xiaohu who can buy time, who is a huge teamfight threat. Meanwhile, Bin actually needs to be able to stack up his Qs before he can be even close to an equivalent threat as Xiaohu is in these team fights. Huan Feng not being able to jump into a single fight, while Gala, with his range advantage, has been able to contribute to a lot more damage coming out there on the side of RNG. as a Guardian Angel is completed there now on the side of Gala. I didn't realize this before, but you really don't see the Guardian Angel effect anymore on champions, as a Guardian Angel is also completed there on the side of Xiaohu, as well as been everyone looking to come back to life again. And you notice that in this season, a lot of people are going for a Guardian Angel. It's very interesting, I suppose. I should check that out. Anyways, both teams kind of lost Suning with their dragon, with their Baron running out right about now. Are looking honestly, what can you do as Suning? You need to make a pick. Who can you pick? The only person you can really pick is Wei or Crane. Ming will turn the pick against you, but if RNG just keep grouping up like this, they are going to be incredibly safe. And if you send someone to split push, you are just going to get sprinted down upon by the members of RNG. Crane going to pick up a side wave, with Xiaohu going to pick up a top side wave, resets coming in from RNG, who are preparing for the next push. Baron coming out in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, with Elder Dragon coming out about 30 seconds after that. Suning is just, at this point, they're just stalling out the game and looking for opportunities to make big picks on key targets. Like if they can somehow get a stun onto Gala, which they actually have no stuns, by the way. They only have knockups, short range knockups from Bin. They only have long range roots from On, which is going to be incredibly easy to block for Ming to block, or even for Xayah to use her ultimate to get out of that position. It is impossible actually for Suning to get onto Gala. Straight up, they need to look for insane flanks. Angel needs to fly in there and push Gala forward, but Gala can again avoid that with his own ultimate. And not to mention, if Angel jumps in, he will be incinerated upon landing. He will incinerate before his wheels manage to touch the ground. Once the soldiers run forward, I think he's going to hit the deck. He's going to fall down, and then Huanfeng's going to jump in, and he's also going to pretty much get obliterated as well. Really a grim position for Suning to be in, and the scores and the goal lead really does not show you that position that they are definitely in right now. As both teams just waiting patiently, securing vision where possible, soaking up waves and experience where possible. But at this point, with Gala at 6 items, with Huanfeng at 6 items, with Angel and Angel also at 6 items, what is the point of all this farm? You're just trying to push out waves at this point. SFM landing a spear onto Xiaohu, but Xiaohu stepping forward with impunity. Man is not afraid of anything. He is walking forward, chunking SOFM much lower. SOFM in a terrible position as the rest of RNG pushing up through the mid lane. Flash there coming out, but a predict ultimate coming in there from Crying, doing a fantastic job with these Orianna ultimates. Only using them on one person as Xiaohu running forward, flashing in, gets the stun down onto Bin. Bin being tanky as anything, using his God Drinker to sustain himself. Huanfeng jumping forward as well, on getting obliterated. Huanfeng one stack away from completing his passive. However, if he doesn't get it soon, it does reset. And Xiaohu is so tanky. They've been also with so much sustaining gale force forward by Gala, trying to do onto Angel what he did just now. As Wei is behind, Wei channeling his sleep onto Angel. Angel falling asleep there, using his ultimate to try and protect himself. Bin jumping forward again with his God Drinker, sustaining out as much as he can, but Xiaohu jumping in. Xiaohu, a big player in this team. Gala flashing forward. Huanfeng channeling his ultimate for the first time this game, but goes straight into Guardian Angel. Crying and Ming very low. Ming standing next to Crying in order to ensure that he is safe, ready with his Pulverize, ready with his headbutt to knock Huanfeng aside. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, the first actual team fight of the game is the last actual team fight of the game, as RNG, with more tools to force, managing to brute force the way down into the game. Xiaohu just so tanky. Bin very, very tanky also with his sustain, however, just not enough, as another one-man Orianna ultimate coming out from the side of Cry. And ladies and gentlemen, there really isn't much to say about this game. RNG just drafted really, really well, played to their draft, and ran it down the middle with more tools to engage, with more tools to force there than the side of Suning Gaming. Suning's draft a little bit lacking in terms of the engage options, and were not able to get into position. Overall, a better game played there by RNG, as Suning probably back to the drawing board straight after this. That being said, they did a fantastic job across many lanes. SOFM doing his best to try and bring his team back from the brink with a beautiful Baron steal, with a beautiful Dragon steal. Alas, however, it was not enough, as the 5 members of RNG bow and take leave from the stage. We will see you again, ladies and gentlemen, in the next video commentary. Xiaohu looking happy as a fiddle there, doing a fantastic job. Truly a key member in their win in that fight. So tanky. tanky, being able to force fights, looking aggressively, stacking, balancing his Ngar bar phenomenally. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you guys next time. See ya!